Hey everybody, we're live. We got another one for you. What is up, guys? We are live. I am joined, as always, by the awful, villainous,
Vindictive.
Shut up, Vicky. I'm talking. Vicky.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, yeah. That was the time to talk. All right, cool. We have quite the show for you guys tonight. But before we talk about that, let's just read through the. We got Smeeg Peeg in the house. Represent. He says Dean is late and the thumbnail is horrible. That one's Vicky. Looks like nothing has changed in the 6 months I've been gone, except for your back. And I guess that's like the one thing we were hoping would stay the same. You gone. Ha, got him. Anyways, Vicky talking shit. Morg talking to Smeeg. Luster Dog says if you squint your eyes, Vic looks like Elizabeth Warren. Huh. No, that's actually pretty spot on. Vicky? Okay. I guess Vicky's just gone. But okay. You there, Vicky? All right.
Hi.
Hi.
You were just talking. I could see your little thing going and going and going. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, let's see what else. Sorry, guys. Vicky just doesn't know how to talk. I think CG hatred of this show has increased to new levels.
I think so as well.
Yeah. People, Dean, I can't hear you. I know that's not true. We hear him at least at Vickyverse.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry you could still hear him.
Shut up, Vicky. Low T Dean. You know what? Fuck you, fucking Lunga, with your fucking shit comments. You know, we got a wonderful show for you guys tonight.
He does have that hot wife, though.
Okay. You're just gonna rub that in my face?
I am.
All right. So, anyways, tonight's topics are, I forget what some of them are, but the main ones. We have Vic Mini Pastas, Minianas, Vic Mignogna. Decided to be on the Simpcast and not wear pants and then point the webcam at his crotch.
Always thrilling.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
And we also have his Kekolded lawyer.
Yes.
Nick Rikiada.
Hanging out at Hedonism.
Yes. During Cuck Week. So that's a thing, guys.
Yeah. I've also got a little bit more Indiegogo talk. Some roasting of Gabe Eltaib, because you can never have too much of that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's actually a really good one. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of like the I guess the
it's getting late. Dean can't talk anymore.
Shut up, Vicky. Okay. Let's just start. We'll just watch some stuff, okay?
I'm the one who talks about, Indiegogo's term of service. 79 says Vicky likes talking about terms of service too. But at least I'm not trying to get Comicsgate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out to get anybody who's a Comicsgater. I'm not trying to get at anybody.
Let's just ponder that for a moment, shall we? Danger Vanessa, pointing to violations in Indiegogo's terms of service, is different than when I do it because her motives are pure. That's just flat out ridiculous.
the shadow banning stuff.
Yes.
So this will I made a post about how Ethan's Rainbow the Brute got rocked with the shadow ban. So this Rob Kuro 85, don't contact this individual. So it's no way their fault for breaking term of service. Like I looked at most of them, and I see many violations, especially abusing the in-demand system. You're only allowed a 90-day extension of your campaign, no more, no less. Yeah, all of them go way past in the years. So
they would shut it down if that was the case.
This person is half right. So again, this is Rainbow the Brute. So fair enough. A lot of this is fair enough. For the ones who've been here a while, I'm the one who talks about, Indiegogo's term of service. So I reread the term of service. It says nothing about 90 days.
Right.
So then I checked the community guidelines, and I was like, oh, this is where we get screwed up a little bit.
The community guidelines for creators are part of Indiegogo's terms of service. These guidelines outline Indiegogo's specific policies regarding campaign responsibilities, perks, and content. I'm beginning to understand why when I talk about policy violations, Comicsgate has no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so a campaign may only be part of the in-demand program if you select shipping stage, blah, blah, blah. So campaigns that can participate in in-demand must be able to fulfill their ports within 3 months of the estimated shipping date provided to the contributors. I was about to do that all British. At the time of their contribution.
Out of the 19 creators on Indiegogo who are currently shadow banned, 10 of them didn't deliver their previous in-demand campaigns within the 90 days of their original promised fulfillment date. Ethan Van Sciver currently has 3 campaigns that are in violation of this agreement.
So they did adjust this. And again, Shane, if you watch this on replay,
is it back up? No.
I know what you did. I get what you... So what is the standard on nudity? Because Mandy had to do that for Gemshock. That is a monster with no nipples, just happens to be female, but there's no it's just bumps on a chest.
Mandy didn't have to censor her Indiegogo. She chose to after I posted this tweet. Too hot for old cat lady. She has since removed those censor bars from the images on her Indiegogo, and she's not shadow banned. I guess that answers the nudity question for you, Vanessa.
So graphically violent content promoting any form of violence. This is an iffy one. Especially with some of our stories, we went through a werewolf. Continue to go through a werewolf phase. There's a lot of horror books that have come out. It's and again, this is a monster fighting book. What do you mean? So Bane 1776 says Malin never goes in demand and he was shadow banned, well, except for the decapitation. And again, that's the shitty thing, because where is this?
Is that considered violence?
Yeah, is that graphically violent content? It's
yeah.
They're superheroes. People fly. One of them is Frankenstein. Get over yourself, right?
This image is the decapitation they were referring to. It is from the trailer for John Malin's book Graveyard Shift for Omega Storm. It's featured on his Indiegogo page. Indiegogo prohibits graphically violent images and video on their website. Look, it says promotes violence. Is anybody here arguing that comic books promote violence? No. Just like you could crowdfund a new version of the Kama Sutra or make your own joy of sex, and Indiegogo's still gonna let you keep it up. They just don't want you having explicit images on their website. They just want what's on their website to be rated PG.
So, there's a lot of creators who are shadow banned right now where it doesn't make any sense.
And to this day, there's no clear explanation for any of this, correct?
Yeah.
That is correct.
From your understanding?
To my understanding, yeah.
So
Well-Read Comics says the shadow bans have no logic behind them. Many people violate terms of service. 100%. And again, like I've said before about these shadow bans, I think we would do better if we just get banned.
Yeah.
Because again, CG, we do well with spite. We
Right.
really do well with spite. So if we just got straight up banned, that will be very lucrative for us.
And the promulgation of the outrage grift is echoed in the chat.
The shadow bans are worse because it's like you don't know why you're not getting communicated to.
Right.
You're allowed to use the platform, but you're not getting the most, the use of it that you're supposed to per, the agreement that this site, that everybody who uses this site makes the agreement of 5% for, the full use of Indiegogo.
I hate to break it to you, but nowhere in this document does it state that Indiegogo is required to promote you or help you with your campaign in any way. Simply that they are allowing you the use of their platform to crowdfund your campaign.
So Well-Read Comics says pretty much everything out of Vicky's mouth is a lie, not a good source. I mean, she could say whatever she wants, and I'm allowed to not believe her.
I'm cool with you not believing me, but nearly everything I say can be verified. It can be double-checked, and if you have any questions about my sources, I'm easy enough to find. And unless you're Comicsgate, it's simple enough to go and read the terms of service. I really dislike Homeless Ian.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, fuck that shit. There's a couple things. The whole idea, Comicsgate will do better on spite. We don't need no stinking Indiegogo.
We don't need no Indiegogo.
Me.
Yeah.
Give
Anyway.
me a break. Does anybody here really think that Mandy is making as much money on her site as she would have on Indiegogo? Anybody for this stupid Jack the Ripper book? Well, I mean, it is stupid.
Surprised she's making money on it.
Right. Yeah.
But props to her for that.
Yeah, props to her. She's breaking TOS while she does it, but that's okay because they all do apparently, and since they all do, nobody should be taken to task for it. Nobody should have any kind of consequences because they all do it, which is just the lamest logic I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, I don't care if they are punished or not, right? Like, I don't think they should be or shouldn't be. I just think that it's stupid to complain about it when you are. Like,
yeah, exactly. I don't really have feelings about it one way or another.
Sure you don't.
I don't. It's fun to watch. It's certainly interesting to sit there and watch them all scramble and freak out and try to figure out what they're going to do next. I mean, it's not like any of them have figured out SEO yet, and most of them don't have their own websites. If I Google Shane Davis, I don't get his website. If I Google Ethan, I don't get Amphibionics. Everything's Indiegogo, right? It's Twitter and Indiegogo, but it doesn't take me anywhere towards their own web presence. So how are they going to be selling shit off of their own websites if nobody even has any idea they exist? If Google doesn't even tell you they exist? And what? Now they're going to go to Kickstarter?
Well, Mike Barron tried that.
I didn't even know Mike Barron had a Kickstarter for that Private American book until today.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't follow all of them all that closely. And I had skimmed through Chris Brawley's Twitter before he blocked me.
That guy's a fucking idiot.
Oh my God.
That guy is just fucking
whips out his alt account so he can call me a bitch.
I just really like how he was like, show me. He like, we're talking, me and him are like debating, I guess, on Twitter about the shadow ban stuff. And he's like, show me the exact spot in TOS where this where it states this is a rule, and it's like, dude, like if you spent, and I mean I did, right? But it's like if you spent half the amount of time you do arguing this topic on, just reading the TOS you agreed to, you would know. Like, you wouldn't
I
need
should
me to point it out, bro.
I shouldn't know the terms of service better than all of these creators in Comicsgate, right? I
Yeah.
shouldn't. I shouldn't have, they Graham Nolan, I don't read the terms of service. Why do you need to read the terms of service?
Well, this is why. But I
Well,
mean,
this
we've
is
talked
why.
about the
Yeah.
terms of service.
So, after, well, I've never violated the terms of service. And you show him where he violates the term of service. So he shifts the goalposts around to like, well, he gives you the old, everybody does it.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what you're talking about. And then he comes in with his alt. So you're sitting there on Twitter arguing with him and his alt account. And then he uses his alt to call me a bitch. Quote tweets me with it and calls me a bitch. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he should have just
who's
done
the
that on
real
his main, because you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine. But you have to be a pussy about it and use your alt account so people don't associate it with you. Oh, by the way, his alt is All American Male. I didn't realize all American males were such pussies they had to hide behind sock accounts on Twitter.
My whole thing is this guy's so dumb. If he's the all-American male, it's no wonder China is winning. Let that sink in, guys.
So now I guess there was an article that came out early this morning, yesterday morning now for me, on Daily Costs about Mike Barron's new racist comic, The Private American, right? And so people contacted Kickstarter. Kickstarter's like, oh, snap. People are kind of upset. Well, let's weigh this, right? We can have Comicsgate mad at us who don't use our platform anyway. Or we can have all of these readers of the Daily Cost coming at us, getting all pissy because we're hosting some quote unquote racist garbage. Right. And they decided to choose the path of least resistance, and they suspended Barron's account. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying I agree with it or don't agree with it. I wouldn't personally have suspended it, but it's Kickstarter. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And we've always known that they're kind of super progressive, right? So they smillered Barron. They just did the same thing to him that they did to the Lone Star book.
Yeah.
Where Miller's the picture he chooses to put on his Kickstarter is Lone Star slaughtering a bunch of Mexicans.
Well,
they're MS-13. I don't think Kickstarter cared. So, they'll get some mileage out of the outrage from it for a while, and maybe boost their backers on Indiegogo, get written up in the Daily Wire again, and but that's about it. That's like maybe that'll be like all the traction they get. Nobody really gives a shit who Kickstarter suspends or doesn't suspend in the long run.
I mean, that book, like, because I don't care. I mean, I know I say that, and people go, "Huh, you do care? Huh? You're saying you don't care?"
About it.
I'm like, "Oh God, no." I don't actually care if they do suspend him or not. But it's just like, obviously, like that book is gonna be pretty controversial.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to see this coming.
Yeah, it's this follow-up to the Thin Blue Line book, which was the one about the police officers stuck in the middle of a riot, where all the cops end up getting killed. And it was it wasn't very, in my opinion, it wasn't a very good book. It was filled with so many freaking stereotypes. Right. It was like if you took every stereotype that like Alex Jones perpetuates about the left, that book was filled with it. And I can't imagine that Private American isn't exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if it
I
is
don't
or
care.
not. Like,
Read whatever.
I'm not reading it. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Right.
mean
Back
shit
whatever
to
you
me.
want, read whatever you want, like whatever you want. I don't care. I didn't particularly care for his last one, so I didn't have high hopes for this one.
Uh, well, that's
Yeah.
good because
But
it's gonna be really hard to back.
right. So what? Indiegogo, Comicsgate, they were gonna start using Kickstarter, I guess, but now they won't because Mike Barron. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
So now we have this Gabe Eltaib story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of fits, because as Smug points out, Barron wrote some good Star Wars comics back in the day.
You want to know who was so impressive with his coloring?
Let's just play the clip.
The right or the conservative, I guess the non-woke, we gave up on the arts, most of us. Not me. I've been drawing since I was 3. But most people gave up on the arts. So now we don't have enough conservative people in the arts because we ceded that ground to them. So I left DC Comics angrily. I humiliated them, and I'm glad the only regret I have about leaving DC Comics is that I didn't do it sooner and I didn't do it harder. I made global news. You can look it up. I was news around the globe for like 2 days straight. I got a phone call from someone in Europe that saw my story. Somehow he tracked me down, and he was so inspired that I was standing up to woke and this and that. And it was because they want to change Superman's slogan. Truth.
I think he was just inspired that Gabe Eltaib was standing, not standing up to woke.
Imagine not
that
just
he
being
was
creeped
standing.
out as. Imagine not being creeped out as fuck that someone from Europe hunted down your phone number so they could call you at home.
Well, the story is obviously fake. It's Gabe Eltaib.
Of course it's fake.
But if it did happen, it was probably just some guy who was like, wow, that guy can stand?
This was a
I can
30
too. And
This
he
was a 30-minute podcast, and he was like wheezing and huffing and puffing the whole time like he'd just run 10 miles.
Of course he was. Look at him. Of course he was.
Justice in a better world? How dare you? So I've got to live so many of my dreams. God has blessed me so much as an artist. I got to work for my favorite. I got his phone number right now. I could call my favorite artist right now. We're kind of on the outs right now. But
let's do it. Let's dial him up.
Let's call him.
I don't think Jim.
He gave me my career at DC.
Yeah,
I have my difficulties with the choices they make, but I can't be disrespectful and pretend he didn't pick me and hire. And he personally hired me. Another artist that worked there told me it was like down to a vote between some guys, and Jim said, "No, I like this guy." So to me, I'm just humbled. Like God bless me. Like my favorite artist thinks I'm good and hired me. Like that blows my mind. And I worked at DC Comics from 2008 until a year ago.
Now, what's your opinion of the Star Wars universe, where it's been going, where Disney's been taking it, and what was your experience like working on Star Wars?
All right.
I drew TIE fighters and X-Wings as well as a kid, but I wasn't very good at it.
All right, you asked me Star Wars. We're going to
I'm going to Star Wars.
Some of my secret shame.
This will be the last question, and then we'll be out of time. So.
Really? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, I assume you're going to.
Right. Well, I started drawing Star Wars at 3. It was the first thing I remember drawing. And I went freelance. Remember, DC Comics moved to Burbank, so I went freelance so I could work for DC, and now I could work for everyone. I worked on the relaunch of Star Wars in 2013 or 14. And Star Wars had been cold since the prequel movies. Nothing had happened. No TV, no movies, comic book sales were just flat. And Brian Wood, a great writer, Carlos Stone, a great illustrator, and me as the color paint guy, we relaunched Star Wars 1, and it took place between the first and second movies, Empire and A New Hope. And it was all your classic characters, nothing woke, and it sold a jillion copies. We went to 7 different covers. A comic book has a cover. Well, if it sells good enough, they'll make a second cover and a third cover, like 3rd edition, 4th. And I think we went 7 printings on that. And it was just a hit, an absolute hit. And 3 months into that run, this was a hit comic book, a runaway hit, Disney bought Star Wars. And I'll always wonder, was the success of this book in some small part, Disney said, you know what, we will buy Star Wars. Because I'm sure a deal with George Lucas and Disney That's a years-long deal,
Sure,
a $4 billion deal they're negotiating. But I can't help but think we have this like runaway hit with this comic book, and the deal closes 3 months later, and now I hate woke Star Wars. We don't need to go into that. Everyone knows it's garbage. And I'm like, is this like a Greek tragedy? The thing I love the most, Star Wars, I helped ruin it? Did I? Like, you know how, who was it? Oedipus ends up like killing his own father and murdering his mother, the Greek tragedy. You know, the Greek tragedies. Like, did I help ruin Star Wars? So I'll always wonder.
You made it too successful, and then it had to fall.
Right, but you know, again, this is just, God always blesses me, and I'm just so humbled.
Yes, Gabe is the reason Disney bought Lucasfilm.
It is true.
Yes, he had a comic book that came out in 2013, and Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012. But he is the reason why it happened.
Yes.
Fuck me. Just can't. You know, and people believe that shit. It's so fucking sad. So sad. You know? That he would even like try to put that out there is just fucking weird.
He's like a pathological liar or something.
I think he is.
He's got to
Right.
be.
You had the, you know, I didn't have an NDA. There was no NDA. I didn't have any sort of privacy in my contract with DC over Superman. Sure you didn't, Gabe. Okay. Yeah. To, you know, the whole weird San Diego Comic-Con thing with Mark Brooks. Well, I never threatened him. Yeah, you fucking did. Now we have comic books that came out in 2013, which affected a sale that took place in 2012.
Yes.
Oh, and then now there's the whole Dave Williams thing as well, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. My artist told me that he's just not going to work on the book anymore. Okay, because that's the whole story. But you know who was on Comic Book Kings earlier this week?
Who?
Dave Williams. Or at least they tried. He had some connection issues, but yeah. Guess who wasn't on Comicsgate Kings?
Gabe?
Gabe.
Huh.
Yeah,
Gabe suits for everyone. That's funny. God, what is up with these fucking losers? They're always so fucking fat and disgusting looking, and then they threaten lawsuits left and right.
Yeah.
Like, literally all of them.
Yes, he does that too.
Yeah, Ethan does it. Gabe.
JDA.
Eltabitas. Gabe Eltabitas. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that one. But yeah, they're always just so disgusting looking, and then they threaten lawsuits. Like, is it a growing epidemic?
I don't know. Barron was threatening to sue Daily Cost.
He's not like fat. He's just extremely old.
No, he's just really old, but he was threatening
and also,
to sue.
but he still is disgusting looking. You know, I'll give it that.
Well, he's old, Dean.
Yeah, old people are disgusting looking.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Trust me, I know.
Okay. But, you know, I don't know. It's just, they're always just so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, speaking of disgusting fat losers.
And Comicsgate Kings.
Yeah, we have another one for you guys.
Transition.
Cecil, if you're still cool enough. Where's Cecil? Is he in here? I don't even ask Cecil anymore. All right, hold on. Let me get Cecil as well. I don't even ask Cecil because Cecil is hanging out with like cool porno stars. Cecil's hanging out with stand-up comics and porno stars. And he told me, he says, you know what? When you hang out with these porno stars, you get to see their boobies. And I said, whoa. FKA322 says, RIP friend. By the way, have you figured out how to fix Comicsgate Kings? I thought about that today a lot. How to fix Comicsgate Kings. How to make it a good show. How to get people to understand that we're putting on an actual show. If you drop Kings, you'll be okay. Hold on, Vic. Let me read. If you drop Kings, it'll be okay, but others will hurt. Wait, who? Vic, who's gonna hurt? Now, hold on a second. When did I say I was gonna drop Kings? You guys said drop Kings. I would never drop Kings. I love those guys. I just want to yell at them and say, we got to do a show here. We when Comicsgate Kings has been happening lately, like we get together and everybody just chats at each other over nonsense, and there's no real directive and there's no real show, and that drives me nuts because I'm somebody who has things to say. I have a line of topics that pop up. So it's a bunch of like, and Mags Visaggio was there, like picking scabs off, her arm, his arm, whatever. And it was intensely interesting to me, and I wanted to listen and comment on it. And I was fully aware that, like, it was me and maybe John Malin, maybe a little Shane Davis, but nobody else wanted to hear that. Nobody else wanted to participate except for me. And that's just, I don't know. Like, that's what this show is. Like, that's content for Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And I didn't even get to finish it because everybody made me feel like I was bothering them. Here's Cecil.
That's because
he says,
you have your webcam on.
You have exactly one scheduled stream per week, and I'm explicitly not allowed on it. All other streams... Wait, you have exactly one scheduled stream per week, and I'm explicitly not allowed on... Oh, Comicsgate Kings. All other streams are at random times of the day. I hop on when I can. Cecil, I don't mean to criticize you. I want you to understand. I support you. I don't want to criticize you at all. It's like I see you on other people's streams. I miss you.
Okay, sorry, I just got to pause it. Can we stop with this debate about taxes in the chat, guys? It's been going on since like the start of the stream. Okay? Just agree to disagree, guys.
You're better here. I mean, you're good wherever you go. We'll be honest with you. You're really funny. Master Boof says, am I out of the loop? What's wrong with Kings? Nothing is wrong with Kings. You guys complain that it's boring. I complain because you guys complain about everything, to be honest with you. But the only thing I complained about was I wanted to watch that whole gay video. And people didn't want to, It's like, you can't tell those guys to watch that stuff. They want to talk about comics. That's what they want to, believe it or not. They're on something called Comicsgate Kings. Comicsgate Kings. That's how they read it. Kings is not one of your endless EFAP streams, Ethan. It is if I say it is.
Oh.
That's kind of why it's so fucking boring.
That's funny.
Yeah, oh man, I was actually going to put in some clips of the stream Ethan was trying to EFAP on the Comicsgate King show. It took them nearly 50 minutes to get through 17 minutes of a stream, right? Because he got 8 people on his panel, right? None of them give a shit except for Ethan. He says, "Sir, I think John Malin may have been interested in maybe Shane Davis whipped out his soundboard to make farting noises."
Okay, wait. But that's just because Shane Davis clearly is suffering from brain damage.
Yeah.
It's not that he wasn't interested. It's just that 5 seconds
horrible.
later he saw like a shiny ball.
Yeah, I mean, it was just bad.
sad.
And the stream he wanted to EFAP was 2 hours long, and it was a LGBTQ plus discussion about comics and transforming them into television shows, right? I mean, all they did was knock people for being gay. bash at Mags, calling Mags a him, and trying to compare Mags to the woman on the stream next to her, who is also a trans woman, but apparently none of them figured it out because they couldn't actually play the fucking video, right? Maybe it would be different if Ethan understood how to EFAP a video, because you know, there are ways to do it, but you can't do it with 8 people who don't give a shit about it, who are just gonna interject with fucking fart jokes.
I'm sorry,
You
Vicky.
know?
Hold on, I got a fart.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Man, I should get cider. At least he doesn't fart. Damn.
Yeah.
You know, so then it becomes this. I think it's dawning on him that his streams are boring as fuck, right? And he's searching for content and he's trying to figure out what to do, but these EFAPs are just not doing it for people unless it's something completely and totally drama filled, and it has nothing to do with the actual EFAP. It has to do with the drama in that video, right? Because that's what his audience wants. It's what he's cultivated in his audience, and it's what all of CG has tried to do.
Yeah.
But none of those people, they'd rather the guys like Billy Tucci, Aaron Lopresti, all of the actual fuck Mandy, she just sits there and giggles and like talks about crushing watermelons with her thighs. I mean, it's just stupid, right? But all the rest of them, they want to talk about their days in the comic biz and reminisce about the Coke parties and, you know, whatever else they were doing back then. That's what they want to do. And instead, Ethan wants to do this like kind of regimented, this is what we're going to talk about, and these are the articles we're going to cover, and it's all this stupid quote culture warrior stuff that they're not even actually all that super interested in covering, you know. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it'll stick around. He's going to have to change something. He's either going to have to tell them all to get in line, and let him do his show the way he quote wants to do his show, or he's not going to be having them on shilling their shit for half of the live stream.
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down to. It's literally they all go there and they sit on Ethan's stream. Ethan shills their shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it. That is it.
Viewers are going down.
I thought we said that was it. Come on, Vicky.
Okay.
Get in line. Do the show how I want to do it. Sorry. All right. So, are you guys ready for it?
I'm ready.
Vic Mignogna and his missing pants.
Russian Cat, I adopted him on the day that Yuri Gagarin went to space. And I was like, okay, this fits. Which apparently all my guy friends are like, that's such a cool name for a cat because Lord of War is Yuri something. But so
anyway.
Sorry, we lost Vic there. I'm sure he'll come back. All right, tell us about your cat.
Russian Cat.
Okay, so just his face. He looks really old, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like disgusting.
Very Botox.
It's like very Mike Barron. Then he's like contemplating it. Like, should I?
Should I do it? Should I do it?
I think I'm gonna
do it.
And then he just goes for it.
Now remember, this is the man who just filed an appeal with the Supreme Court in Texas because, he's not a sex pest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Very disturbing.
Not gonna lie, his smirk is pretty funny. He did have a smirk. He was definitely.
He
like,
was. He was thinking about it before he did it, man.
He really was.
You know? He's like, should I do it? This is the Simpcast. Right?
He really was.
They hang out with porn stars and hookers. Like, I could do this. I should do this.
I should do this. Yeah, this is
should.
great. This is a good idea. Is it? And then he just does it.
Yeah. And the cope from Weeb Wars.
Yeah, the Weeb Wars people, and I come from the Weeb Wars people, guys. I originally hailed from the Weeb Wars clan of the internet. And holy shit, it's a lot of really dumb people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of really, really dumb people.
Chrissy Mayer on Twitter, that's not what happened at all. It's like, but here's the real question. Why the fuck is he sitting there on a stream with a bunch of women without wearing his pants? Why is he going on Jeffrey Toobin
regardless of that, why is he pointing his webcam at his crotch when he does that? That's the real mind blower. Like why? Because he's a sex pest. It's actually a really simple answer.
Yeah.
It's because he just can't help himself.
That was an opinion statement. But I don't think he can. I honestly don't think he can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so
That's exactly what I said, Lunga. I think Johnny's right. You don't really pay attention to what people are saying. You just like to argue. Yeah, I'm agreeing with Johnny.
He's still busy arguing with Johnny.
Yeah, can you guys just stop? Just like, come on, guys, seriously.
I know, we could always just time them both out.
I wasn't gonna do that, but I might. Just stop arguing about the damn thing. It's been going on throughout the whole fucking live stream, guys. But Johnny's right, Lunga. Anyways. Yeah.
Good old Vic.
Good old Vic. It's pretty weird. But his Kekolded lawyer. Not Ty Beard. But Nick Rikiada of Rikiada Law.
Good old Nick.
A southern cuckolded law firm in Minnesota. Dean is helping. Thanks, guys. I try.
Pervert.
So it turns out that on August 3rd, 2022, Nick Rekieta streamed from like this place. And people have talked about this. I'm sure many of you have already heard about this. But on August 3rd of 2022, while Nick is streaming from this place, there's an event called Hedonism 2.
Yes, it's a resort. It took place at a resort in Jamaica.
Yes. And people actually, as you can see, they matched up the room that he's staying at as one of the rooms, as like the layout of the rooms that they have at Hedonism 2. So that's kind of weird, right?
Right.
And then this is kind of like what happens during the week that he's staying at Hedonism 2. And he was there, I want to say it was Wednesday. That's the day that he streamed, at least. I mean, he was there probably for the whole week. But Wednesdays are fetish leather and lingerie, dress in leather and lingerie, or whatever fetish you want to explore, and then prepare to indulge your fetish fantasies. But he's probably not just there Wednesday. right? Probably there for the whole week.
Probably.
And it's cuck week, guys. That's what people
Cuck
are saying. And then, yeah, this is I guess the brochure for that week. It's like July 30th to August 6th, and it says opposites attract. Let's celebrate our diversity and variety. We come in many colors, flavors, and sizes, and many of us are mixed and matched. So let's embrace our assorted color palette and come together for a Char Travel keto party. Char Travel will arrange your round-trip transfers in Jamaica. Social parties and events continued. So yeah.
Good old Nick. Though why he'd have to travel to Jamaica to get cucked when he's got Drexel living practically next door.
I mean, Drexel's Baldo does, stay there.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But this was pre-Baldo days.
This was pre-Baldo.
Yeah. It's
so
just
anyways.
so ridiculous. It's just like you've got lots of people not even mentioning it. Lots of people making excuses for it, which is really strange. I don't think Rikiada's done a cope stream about it.
No, he addressed the stuff before this came out.
Yeah, but he hasn't talked about this since. I think he's made there has been some strange stuff still going on in his locals. I think I had I'll have to find it. But yeah, so his wife had made some sort of comment about how she fucks around, which was kind of bizarre.
Well, she left it pretty open-ended.
She left it kind of open-ended.
But it was pretty implied, and as Godwinson says, she is his biggest A-log. Kind of true.
Kind of true. This is what it was. Okay, this is somebody else in the locals. By the name of Jessie May. Okay, to the sexy pics by any person, here's my story. Married 10, divorced 2, forced to raise a kid together, next 8. Miserable until I caught this stupid grifting lawyer with my sense of humor with the Rittenhouse trial. Months later, I'm involved in this chat and I get confidence from the guys here and the women. I post some ass pics, I get busted, fight. Oh yeah, until he sees what you guys say about me and fags, cough, cough, cough. He fell in love again or something. I don't know. Love you guys and gals. And then Lady Rackets replies, girl, I'm so excited for you. Keep that silly, sexy energy going and slap that ass wherever you get the chance just for fun throughout the day when your kid isn't looking. What the fuck is that? I guess it's like some meme they got going where they like slap slap your ass to make yourself feel better. But that wasn't actually. I guess it's
think
some
that constitutes
joke.
as a meme, Vicky.
I'm just saying, it's like some meme in their locals. It's some joke going through their locals, which is just lame as fuck. But these people, for somebody who was trying to promote or at least grift on this trad family, we're so straight-laced and sick of all this degeneracy that we homeschool our kids, and he calls everybody cucks, and God, I almost said that like fan advocacy. Not fan advocacy, forced adversity. And it turns out the whole time they're just degenerates and he's a cuckold.
My biggest issue, I don't care if he is a degenerate or a cuckold.
I don't care either. I just don't like
But I find it especially funny because Nick, he'll do like full on streams with Drexel, just digging in on people for being degenerates. And then it turns out he's a fucking cuck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't degeneracy, whatever. I don't care if he is, but don't pretend that you're holier than thou, and don't sit there and dig at people for it.
And then it turns out you're a fucking cuck.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Just really gonna bite you.
Very hypocritical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a degenerate, wear it loud and proud. Like that was a funny comment. But I mean, like Lunga isn't ashamed of his shit, you know, and that's cool. I don't care. But the funny thing is that like Nick does act like he's above all that shit, and he judges people for being into degenerate shit, and then it turns out he is.
And then he advertises
a giant
the ball
degenerate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, if you are a degenerate, probably don't be judging people and being some trad-cad lawyer who's just wrong about everything.
Just wrong about everything.
Yeah. Literally all the time.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's easy.
Like his wife.
Oof.
Oof. Oh no.
Oh no.
What I find funny, so I meant to censor this image because I was going to talk about that time where we talked about Nick Rekieta with Emmett.
Oh yes, the
first
picture,
time.
The picture from his locals with
No. When we were talking about the I Stand with Vic because appeals came in and it wasn't good.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And we had Emmett on, and I had mentioned that, you know, Nick's wife likes to get her breast massaged by other men.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody DM'd me. And I meant to like basically censor out the person I was going to show the message I got. But essentially, I'll just describe it to you guys. They were like, hey, it was like right after the stream. They're like, hey, Nick asked for your contact information. I don't know why. So I gave him your Discord handle. And I was like, wow, this guy's so mad. Like he's literally so mad that I basically told the story that she told on his stream. So much to the point where he wants my personal contact information.
That's just crazy.
But it turns out he's a fucking cuck.
Well, I mean,
so that's the weird part, right? Like,
he's a total pussy. He never even contacted you.
That is also true. But like, what's he gonna say? You know, like, it's not like
don't talk about the video from my own live stream where my wife talked about this.
It's like, don't, you know, don't. How dare you? I'm just gonna laugh at him for it, you know. And it's like, you know, you don't want proof that you got that mad that you needed my personal contact information to cry. You know what I mean? Like, it was just weird. But like, I remember I was watching. This was during the Keffels thing, and Nick Rekieta had Noel of Kiwi Farms on his stream, and they were talking about the farms and how people generally, they're not mad about the lies that are told. They're mad about the things that are true that they don't want being shared. And that was actually like Nick's stance. Like he was like, yeah, like, you know, whenever you see people that are mad, you know, there's plenty of like wrong shit that's said about me on there. I don't get mad about it. But when somebody is mad, it's probably because it's true. And I was like, I don't think that that's true for everybody, but that says a lot about Nick.
Yeah, it says a lot about Nick.
And so the fact that he was so mad that he had to, you know, try to get my personal contact information. And then, like, you couple it with his outlook on, you know, like, truthful shit being shared that you don't like. I don't know, it just kind of all fits for me. But, you know, Nick is a cuck, so whatever, fuck him. Yeah. Anyways, guys.
Anyway, it's late.
I hope you all appreciated that little story at the end about the time that Nick got so fucking ass mad about just literally nothing other than the fact that his wife is a slatternly woman.
Our tiny little stream that nobody watches.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also the other thing. It's like, Nick, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're like, you become like a pretty big fucking YouTuber and you're tripping about like fucking stream that streams to like 40 people live.
I wonder if Emmett had not been on that stream, if it would have garnered that kind of response.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have.
No, it was definitely Emmett.
Yeah. I mean, Emmett was there just dabbing all over them. It hit Kiwi Farms and all the fucking Weebors Kiwis were just fucking sulking.
Oh man, were they ever? Captain Manning was even coping about it.
Captain Manning. That is a guy who probably really needs a friend all the time. But don't be there because, you know, just let him take care of it. Anyways.
We were going all, quote, SJW because we had Emmett on the stream.
Because that's a thing.
Because that's a thing, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Weirdos.
that's I think that's it for this one, guys.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You all have a fantastic night.
Or don't. I don't care.
Or don't. We'll do this at our regular time next week.
Fucking
hopefully.
have a terrible night, guys. I don't give a fuck.
Be nice.
No matter what, you can't have a better time than Lady Rackets in Jamaica. That's for sure. That's just true.
Good night, everybody.
Wait, guys. There's this image of Nick. I tweeted this out. I'm just gonna describe it to you because I don't feel like pulling up the tweet. But there's this image of Nick back when he was like in college and he went blackface for a party. And it's, you know, it's made its rounds through the internet a long time ago. But it's still around. It's easy to find. But I tweeted it. And it said that time Nick cosplayed as his kid's father. I just thought that was really funny. And I wanted to share that with you guys. Anyways.
Yes. Yeah, Dean's back on Twitter, everybody.
I mean, this was before I was back on Twitter. This was with the joint account.
Yeah. Yeah. But he is back on Twitter.
Yep.
DA_talks.
Exactly. That's the point. He is cosplaying as his kid's real father. But anyways. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Or don't. Like I said.
Stop that, Dean.
Shut up, Vicky.